So welcome back to Nationals 2025 here at the Highfields Sports Complex. Thank you very much to Chris and Ed, who gave me an opportunity to watch my little sister play and then watch the Men's Open semi-final with stunning games. However, this is the first of 4 finals. It is the men's 50s category, where it is Midlands Tigers versus Southwest Saxons. And I am very happy to say that I am joined by someone with years of knowledge of the game of touch, Mark Holmes. Mark, how are you? How are you enjoying Nationals?
I'm absolutely fantastic. Nationals has been superb as usual. It's always a great competition. 3 days across all age grades. It's fantastic, but it's nice to be asked to commentate on the men's 50s. Obviously, some of these guys here are in my current men's 50 squad. Some are in the 55 squad, so this should be a really good tussle. There's lots of knowledge out there. Really looking forward to it.
Yeah, and you've got the likes of Mike Rower and Luke Hudson currently eyeing up first blood over the Tigers, and I suppose you can give us a little bit of insight of what we might look to expect from this game.
Well, I think the Tigers have been the team that's been unbeaten so far. I think they beat the Saxons 2-1 in the round robins, which is so it's obviously very, very tight. I think this will be a game of who plays chess quickest. To be honest with you, I think there's some great knowledge all the way across the board, and it'll be interesting to see who maybe makes that pass that they shouldn't make, who maybe just one little mistake in defence, one little slip, one out of position. I think will be the difference here.
Yeah, we see early, so this will be penalty, Midlands Tigers. I think sideline ref was speaking on initiating the touch before the ball had landed, so we have Mike Rower operating in the midfield, Hudson in at half, working with Lee Thompson. Thompson wearing 1, here is Thompson. Looking for the link punish. Receives the ball back from Rower. Could have dove over the line. Opts for security of possession. Rower pulling strings in that midfield press. Thompson. This will be fire up. Rower hits Luke Hudson. There's a 3-on-2. Midlands Tigers crabbing across. Hands had to go. That's 5th.
Yeah, could have released it early there. Luke could have. In the end, it's a dead ball in the corner, making the Tigers work hard to get across to their box.
Yeah, and it might be a case of that's just early settlers. An early set, you want to not risk giving the ball away. Make sure that you've got secure possession. But I completely agree with you. There was an option there for Hudson to whip it open side, expose the 2-on-1.
Absolutely. Now this is where they're feeling each other out here on what sort of defence profile they're going to offer, what sort of attack they're going to offer.
Oh, that's a lovely ball.
Yeah, superb ball. Great catch there by Stefan. But also you'll be testing the refs out here. You'll be seeing whether they're waiting for hands on, whether their 7 is 7, 8, 9, 10, or whether it's a bit shorter.
Yeah.
So it's all about feeling out the refs and the opposition at the same time in the first few minutes, seeing where you can go get those little extra 1%ers.
Yeah, and it is the last game of the day for both of these teams. Everything's on the line. Silverware on offer. So both teams maybe not wanting to show their hand a little bit early. As we see the scoop platform, the switches is on. Now the ball comes over onto the short side. This is 5th coming. And that's unfortunate. A little bit of inaccuracy from Shane Wilson. Dropping the ball off a bit too low.
Yeah, well, like I say, it's day 3. I think they play 3 games each day, or 3 and 2. Fitness, body fatigue will all come into play. Some of these guys out there are ex-45 England 45s that have just either 49, 50, 51 age. Some like Mr. Hobson there, who's, dare to say, slightly more senior, but he's still as fit as a fiddle and a great character.
Oh, Sol Phoenix are going to drive through the line. And, yeah, one thing I really like about this Midlands Tigers team is their ability to just sort of react to the pictures that the defence are putting in front of them. They are very experienced, they are veterans, and as you say, this is going to be a game of chess over these 40 minutes to see who's going to bend first.
Absolutely. Like you say, the Midlands I think have got that little bit of extra knowledge in the mids that can change their structure of play depending on what the defence throws at them. What shape they throw. Here the Saxons have just gone a little bit static. They had them on the roll a little bit, and then.
Now it's Townsend looking to get at the line.
Unlucky that. But you see where they, on that attack, they started from 9-10 metres away.
Yeah.
That is going to be a key difference. If they can start on the 7, then it's a foot race, and inevitably the attackers normally get the 50-50s on them. So, Midlands are doing well just to keep them out there. Giving a penalty away, I think, for...
Oh, I thought that was...
I think he might have said in the ruck there.
Yeah, I thought that was just inaccurate roll ball myself, but... I think the refs, they've made their decision. No, it's offside instead. Not hit the line. And once again, Sol Phoenix being told to come back. And we've got Phoenix and Hobson in at defence. Townsend.
So the Saxons didn't recognise that there. The Midlands sent up two mids, and then one went to initiate the attack, so they should have been able to do a sweeper on him there, but they didn't spot it early enough. Hence they made the work a little bit harder, but ball down now, so Tigers get another shot over on the far side, so they're going to have to work it to get over to the box a little bit. Let's see how well the Saxons put pressure on them in defence.
Yeah, and that's good transfer of the ball to the wing, making extra metres. Other box side, Sol Phoenix injecting a good bit of pace. That's what it does, and that'll be play through. Good identification from the Tigers. There's Grizz looking to carry, but there's a bobble in the roll ball. Ref looked like he might have a chat. It's turnover, but brilliant transfer from defence into attack from the Tigers.
Absolutely, and one of the things they did well there, they did the basics well. They drove hard, drove straight, and they kept attacking behind the ruck, which will gain them front foot positioning, and that will always make a big difference. And I think if you see at this moment in time that they are on the front foot a lot more, they are getting the ball off the ground a bit quicker, the Tigers are, and that's the difference at this moment in time.
Yeah, and that's a good pick up there. Good transfer, Mike Rower.
We're on fifth touch.
It's last. Have to create something from nothing. Mike Rower dropping the ball back on the inside. That's touch and pass. And again, I think Saxons early just struggling to find that strike platform. Yeah,
just struggling to get a little bit of momentum to begin with, and therefore in the midfield they're struggling a bit more and not being able to set up a really nice clean strike.
Yeah, and Popov in an acting half will look to be doing something vastly different. Popov, good hands. This is fourth, fifth coming. Won't be surprised if we see Popov look to scoop or go for the quickie. That is fifth, a little bit static, taking away. There was a 2-on-1 on that open side, but I thought that might have been the wrong play. Popov has got a bit of wheels.
Yeah, he has. He has got some. What's interesting there is watching Mike Rower versus John Lovell. They are two of the greatest brains in the touch business, going head to head there. So it's really interesting to see both of them.
Yeah, and you get a lot of that in this age range. It's like thinking yourself out of a problem. It is a game of chess.
Absolutely, and at this moment in time, the Tigers have got a little bit better on the tussle than
that's
everybody else.
In the ruck. Oh, come on, ref. Not sure.
Well,
however, play continues with Luke Hudson platforming. That's a good check away. That's a 3-on-2, and there's a bit of pace. It was number 28, Matt Pryor, trying to go through. However, number 44, Ed Pearce, eats up the ground behind him and goes and makes that touch. But Southwest Saxons starting to threaten that Midlands Tigers line a little bit more, and that won't help the Tigers.
Put a little bit of pressure on there, bit of eye off the ball. This is a perfect opportunity now. 6 from 12, 14 metres out, 6 touches. Let's see if they can have a go at the line at some stage. They're just conditioning and probing.
Ooh,
I don't think
it's
in.
Down?
Yes.
Looks good to me. It is indeed, and Luke Hudson gets the opening score of the game.
The link just held off slightly there, and that little bit of hesitation there allowed Luke to sneak through the gap.
And again, Saxons, when they get that attacking platform right, rolling defence, they've got the pace to go and execute.
They've got the pace, they've got the power, they've got a couple of what I call unorthodox players in there, which are really hard to play with and against. So, what's good there is, Luke's known for a little bit of a wiggle and a wobble here and there, and he throws the defence off, and he just did enough then to give himself the opportunity to put the ball down on the line there.
Yeah, indeed. Sol Phoenix looking to hit hard at the line, but Saxons defend it relatively easily, and they've got a straight opportunity to go and truck up their box and get the fresh legs on.
You see the body language of the Saxons has changed as well.
Yeah.
And they've all of a sudden started to put a bit of pace into their game.
Yeah, there's a bit of pep in their step.
Yeah. They're looking a lot more structured and a lot more at ease now.
Hobson orchestrating, Sol Phoenix plucking that ball from the passing lanes. It's a brilliant defensive intervention from Sol Phoenix.
Well read by Sol, that was.
And I know it's every time, and I've spent a lot of time chatting to Sol. Used to coach him at Men's 45s, which was a pleasure. Got to do a little bit of commentary with him at the University Series. One of the nicest people you'll ever meet.
Oh, he is. He's lovely. Sol. He might not thank me for calling him lovely, but Sol and I have some very, very good long conversations about coaching, playing, philosophy, psychology.
Yeah,
he's a great guy.
Yeah, and one, if you do get the opportunity to pick the brains of, you will learn so much.
Absolutely. And Sol was one of my wingers at the World Cup. He's also our social media. Oh, there you go. They've got a bit of a run on now. Oh, nearly. Well, he was my social media guy as well, and he did a great job on the wings. Stopped a few and scored a bucket load. So I think he was our biggest try scorer, to be honest with you.
I'm not surprised.
He had a fantastic.
And I think as well, his ability to read the game is very impressive.
Yes.
That intelligence underpins his good work on the field.
Absolutely, and he's always open for learning. And this is why I always say, it does not matter what age you are, you're always open to learning something a little bit new, or to do something slightly different, to see how it, and also as you progress in your career. As these touch players, sometimes you do have to change your game a little bit.
Yeah, definitely.
Because of our bodies and the age and how many games we have to play in a tournament. But and this is all part of tournament touch.
Yeah, and it's management. It's tournament management. It's about understanding the demands of the tournament. How can you navigate that to leave yourself building and rising to the final? And the Saxons looking to go for another raid down the short side. Good endeavour. Maybe that ball wanted to go directly to John Cotty, but on this occasion it goes through the hands and it's snuffed out.
Although they were on last touch, they maybe could have gone against the grain and tried a long ball back over the opposite way. They were just running a little bit down the short side, so they ran out a bit of space.
There's Popov carrying. Here is Sol Phoenix making yards. Good platform. Sol again operating in at middle now. Dummy switch, evading one. Not evading the second touch. It's good line speed coming in from Mark Townsend. And we are still... Our scoreboard is wrong, if you're wondering. It is South West Saxons 1, Midlands Tigers 0. And at the moment, Midlands Tigers, I think, are just struggling to get onto that 7.
They are. They've been playing a little bit off it. So I said, if you can defend on the 8, 9 or 10, then it's a lot harder for the attack to score.
What do we think the read is currently for the Midlands Tigers? Is it the pace in which the players come on the box, or is there something that the Saxons are doing defensively that is causing them all the issues?
I think the Saxons are defending nice and tight. I think the Tigers mids are...
lovely wraparound play, but it's a good touch, I think. No, not given.
Down.
And Mikey Rower, off the back of the switch, carving a hole, and it is a wonderful heads-up play. Hopefully we'll get that replay. We do. Yeah, it's a lovely switch on the inside. And Mikey Rower doubles the Saxons lead, taking it 2-0 over the Tigers.
Yeah, that's it. Well, there's two old heads there. Thompson and Rower in the middle. They played together quite a fair few times. And yeah, they just cut that little hole. That's all it takes. You only need a hole the size of that ball.
Tigers, now it's on them to reply. That's a better platform. Ball to the wing is on Ian Grizzlewood, tries to check it away. But penalty ball, better endeavour for the Tigers. And we'll see what they can do in attack.
So they'll just be working that defence now to come forwards and backwards, tie those legs out a little bit more.
Yeah, Davies in at half to Grizzlewood. There's Davies checking away back to Grizzlewood. There's Davies. There is a bit of an overlap on that far side, but a little bit stop-start. That's a better platform. Oh, it was a good idea.
You see that for that touch from the Saxons 10, just stood the Tigers player up in the touch, which meant the ball didn't go down too fast.
Yeah, it was Jerry Attry getting up and making touches. The Saxons are on top in defence at the moment.
They are very much so, and as you can see from the Saxons, you only have to give them a sniff of that line and they're going to take it. It's interesting to see how the Tigers will bounce back from this. I mean, the Tigers have got a full squad. Saxons, I don't think, have quite got there. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think they've got 12 players. So yeah, it's maybe the second half is going to, and fitness and players is going to show. But at this moment, Saxons are up.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate. Saxons look to take it down that far side, where Sefu Baronisavu was waiting. They had exposed the 2-on-1 really well, but that execution just letting the Saxons down when it mattered. But look at this defence here in the midfield. It is strong, it is limiting, and the likes of Popov flying onto the field. This is fifth coming, now only getting over halfway. 2-on-1. That's a good wraparound. However, there's not a lot of support. That's a lovely ball out to the wing. But a really good covering touch.
Great defence there.
Is there maybe something to be said for that Midlands Tigers transition, just to play those hands early and try and go around the corner?
This is it. And what they were after there is they needed to have the scoop on that fifth. And the scoop was a scoop, but it was quite a slow one.
Yeah.
So the defence had a chance to get back and reform.
Yeah.
Well, a penalty here just inside the Saxons half, so like having a tap off 6 again. So let's just see if they can get a strike on the 7 or there or thereabouts.
Yeah, it looks like they're setting for a sweeper. They are indeed. It's good pace injected. That could be try time. Touch is made, and I like the pace injected by Ed Pearce. Pearce in at link again. Now they look to go open side, checking back away. Ball goes to the wing. Oh, it's a lovely pill, lovely catch and finish. Matt Wilkinson get the Tigers on the board.
John Lovell with a nice little loop pass over the top. Amazing. John was part of my bronze winning team last year at the World Cup. Unfortunately, he's not coming back yet, but I'm sure I can talk him into it. He'll hate me for saying that one. And Matt has just come into the frame this year, so brilliant, nice to see.
So that's the men's 50s past and present combining for the Midlands Tigers.
Hopefully present and present soon, John.
And you had to get the bronze medal in there.
Oh, of course, absolutely. Very, very proud of that.
As you should be. As you should be.
Last time I saw you up here commentating, Joe.
Mate, it was a great World Cup campaign.
It was fantastic, and England showed what they've got in depth. And to be honest with you, as we've got here now, you know, these are 50-year-old players, and they're all playing absolutely superb.
Yeah.
You know, from an England point of view, we've got the men's 55s as well. The women's 45s has just been formed on the back of the women's 40s success, which is fantastic. Fingers crossed we'll have the men's 60s coming soon.
Amazing.
And if we do, you know, this is just creating a better and longer pathway for players, you know, from, you know, they can start 13-ish from an England point of view. and over 60s they could still be playing, which would be absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, and I think we're seeing a lot of that as well with the likes of, and I feel like if anyone's got this stream on all day, every day, you maybe would have heard me talk on this a few times, where the likes of the University Series is accelerating the growth of touch across England.
Absolutely.
And it'd be amazing to have that steady flow of players just moving up. That you have, your 5, 6, 7, 8 years in Opens, and then you move into 30s, and then 35, so on and so forth.
And I think that just gives the progression. It's a lot of players could be good coaches, but also at the end of the day they want to play as well.
Yeah.
And if we can keep them playing, keep them enjoying the game.
Yeah.
And then inevitably, if you're playing at a slightly older age, your kids come along, your grandkids come along, and it is, and the sport is just phenomenal.
Yeah. Well, I've had the pleasure on a few occasions of playing with my little sister. I know how nice it is to play with your family.
Oh, absolutely. I've never been good enough to be on the same team as my son and daughter, or they never been good enough to be on my team.
I guess I think it's that way around. I think it's that way around because Ollie Holmes was a bang average touch player.
Yeah, and then but I know at one stage all three of us were playing for the Northwest, which was great.
And it does really speak to just how much the sport is growing as Popov on the hooter looks to try and create something. That's a lovely ball out. Sefo Baroni-Savu getting over and making the touch.
Stefan nearly got past him there, but no, it's a great first half. Like I say, I think in the second half the Saxons, they're going to have to dig deep because they haven't quite got full squad out there. But at the moment, they're just winning this little chess game.
Yeah, and the Tigers growing into this game nicely after a fast start from the Southwest Saxons. And we're going to take a very quick break here at half-time, where it is the Midlands Tigers, one try down against the Saxons in the men 50s final. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. I'll try and I'll do it over the shoulder because I've got a yeah, that's fine. Which is fine. And then they can split screen it. Try and put some to have it crash it and stuff. Okay, yeah, that's good. Listen, just letting you know, so we're going to have that.
Players and officials, this is your 2-minute warning. Players and officials, this is your 1 minute warning. 1 minute.
So welcome back to the second half in the men's 50s final here at the Nationals. And the Midlands Tigers are a try down, and Mark, I'll ask you to put your coaching hat on for a moment. What, in your opinion, could be a route back into this game for the Midlands Tigers? They are only a score down, but the Saxons look so dangerous when they get to the line.
Yeah, I think for me, I'd be looking at saying, look, let's get our heads down, let's do the basics well, let's get on the front foot, let's drive hard for the first 5 minutes, and let's put them under pressure. You know, we know they've got a smaller squad. You know, let's go hard. It's 20 minutes now. This is it. 20 minutes to empty the tank and more. But look at basics. Look at going hard at them.
Good sweeper setup. Pop-off orchestrating back inside to Pop-off.
Yeah,
that's ball down.
Yeah,
and that is a
superb.
Stunning opener in this second half.
Superb. So there you go. Whatever was said at half time has done the trick so
All right,
far.
Hilton, can you hear me and everything on the microphone?
The Saxons react to it. So if you look at the Saxons coming on now, body language is different.
Yeah.
It's, you know,
a little bit slower.
Yeah, and it's switching from one to the other now. So momentum's quite within the Tigers' claws.
Tigers
is the microphone working and everything? Just double check. Okay, I'll pass the microphone over. So it'll be ready when you are.
Forward momentum. That's a good pass out to the lane.
Cool.
There's opportunity to just go straight to Sevo. Not taken. That's half. Good check away. Now back to Hudson. They sacrificed a few touches and now rolling back out to 15 metres away.
Coco.
Strike dump. Not asking all that much from the Saxons. That's a good switch.
I'm joined with Kat Spring, co-coach of the victorious West Wildcats. Women's 40s, national champions. A quick one about the team. I was commentating on that. It wasn't a real crucial one because we'd already won the title. But how proud are you of the performance of your team over the last few days?
I'm so unbelievably proud. We've got 3 debutantes in our team. Firstly, I think that's just an amazing message for women's 40s, even in any sport, to have 3 newbies come and learn a sport and be able to play at this level. And it's just been fantastic the whole way. One of the referees, said to us yesterday, she was like, "Your team have got such an awesome culture," and I'm like, it all starts with that culture and that trust. But most of all, we're here to have fun. So it's just, I'm so proud, immensely proud of everybody.
In terms of the culture across the division, 5 teams this year, which is, just shows the growth of women's 40s touch overall, on top of obviously winning bronze at the World Cup last year and the women's 35s winning silver. In terms of that age grade, it's just on one direction, isn't it?
It is just phenomenal, again, that we can just stack at this age, in the seniors and be able to represent England at that level and win a silver, best ever, right? So we're really looking ahead and cannot wait for New Zealand 2028, and hopefully we can go and smash it. To the Kiwis and Aussies, Raza, we're coming for you.
Just fair play to you at the minute, because I've got a very active 2-year-old who is very cute, but I'm trying to keep control of him as well, because it brings me on to one of the things that you have to, in terms of one of the common themes of women's sport is that as women become mums and families, it becomes a lot harder to fix all of this in. So fit all of this in. So how does everybody manage it?
Yeah, and then there's not only that, it's fitting it in, but it's also the physicality of it all, right? It's like, your body completely changes shape. You have to get back into shape and come back. But I think it's so important for us as mothers to be able to have that extra time out and actually just be with a great bunch of people that we love and doing the sport that we love. So, shout out to all the families that are here and support, wives, husbands, carers, that enable us to go and do what we love the most.
Talking of shout-outs, Renee Watson, who was coach in the World Cup, was watching on the YouTube. Obviously, you coached with her in France a couple of years ago in the Euros. Just in terms of as a coach, what has she done for women's 40s touch in this country?
Oh, aside, look, I'm a bit emotional, so apologies if I get a little tear in my eye. But her ability to bring women's coaching style into England touch is absolutely phenomenal. And I mean, we're as women, we love communication, we love to know the why. And she's just been phenomenal in both coaching us as players, but also coaching coaches and how to be with women, and certainly even just teams in general. The really best way to do it from a communications perspective. She's also so much fun. Yes, we love you heaps, Razza. We really do.
Well, Kat, congratulations again on a great weekend for the Wildcats 40s. Also for helping get women's 40s touch up and running at the elite level here in England. So thanks for that. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Thank you so much. Really looking forward to Stirling. Hopefully we're going to run a 45s. So thank you, Ben. Thank you, everyone. I just want to give a big shout out to Sampo and the Wildcats 27s for releasing Sammy Phillips. She was such a key part of us and being able to win this medal today. I mean, there were 16 of us that made it on the pitch. And again, thank you to England Touch, to all the referees. It's really been outstanding this year.
Brilliant. Thanks, Kat.
Cheers! You're professional doing that with your little one on your feet.
Well, it's more about professional.
So welcome back, where it is 2-2 in this final. Around 10 minutes left to play.
So it's going to be a little bit of magic or a little error in defence to avoid going into a drop off. We'll feel a bit for these guys if it goes to a drop off after on the third match. Yeah, it's going to be going to have to dig deep.
And a bit of a spectacle on the throw. It's unfortunate as we see Hobson. We're going to carry Luke Hudson, getting a little bit of line speed going. Sol Phoenix receiving the ball back, getting some momentum to go forward, hitting halfway well. There's another good carry. However, 7 on is the call from the sideline ref, so a logistical error surrenders possession.
Absolutely, but well spotted by the referee there. I mean, it is one of their roles is to make sure that they've got the right amount of players on, but quite often missed by referees that.
It is probably the hardest job out there in terms of when you play touch. The referees have got to be so hot on everything.
Yeah.
And to be fair, I've given some referees on live stream a little bit of stick. There was one on day one in the Women's Open where the South East Sharks had 7 players in line attack for 2 touches and the rest didn't pick up on it.
Well, these things do happen. They are only human.
Yeah, exactly that.
You know, and
you've got to take your hat off to them when it goes so well.
Absolutely, they get majority right, and to be honest with you, they do an absolute outstanding job. I mean, when you actually get out there refereeing yourself, you'll see how hard it is.
Nice hole, nice transfer, but just hits the deck. It was really good once more from Ed Pearce. He's got a bright spark in this Midlands Tigers team. And I would say that the Saxons, judging from the body language in the box and the slight lapse of momentum that we're seeing in the second half, are feeling the pressure that the Tigers are putting on them.
Yeah, and I think what they're on touch 4 there, and the 2 mids there have been putting a lot of pressure on them. They're up very quickly. Oh, there we go. So it's like having a tap off again. I have to say, I think it's moved in the momentum of the Tigers now, very much so.
Yeah, they are on top. And there has been some pushing and pulling in terms of trying to wrestle the momentum away from one another. And at the moment, the Tigers are sustaining pressure.
Absolutely, and some of this might be down to their heads, their old heads, and the thinking about things. It could be down to the fact that the Tigers are running, at least their mids are staying consistent, whereas I think by the looks of it, the Saxons are rolling their mids, so they're probably rolling 5 mids in a rotation.
Yeah.
So they're playing with different people. So, and these guys won't play at club level together, not all of them. Some will, some won't. So actually that familiarity of each player makes a massive difference.
Yeah, and the Saxons overplaying on their own line, trying to find the outside edge, which is definitely a good idea, because if that ball sticks, there's 20 metres easy for you to be made.
Absolutely. But now they put the pressure back on themselves.
Yeah, and when the scores are locked at 2 tries apiece, that's the last thing you want to do. Phoenix on the 32, checking away. Oh, it's a wonderful check, but Mike Rower reacts well to it.
I mean, Mike Rower, in my opinion, is one of the best defenders in the game. Totally, 100%.
Yeah. And Sol Phoenix looking to expose any, if there is any, defensive fragilities. As Hobson checks away, sweeper comes round, good sweeper set up. Ball could go long, doesn't. It's well defended in the end from the Saxons. I thought maybe there'd be a shout for them to pick up and go against the grain.
This is it. That would what I would say. We do a lot of attacking down the short side at an older age grade, which I'm not too sure why that happens, but it seems to. You know, maybe we don't want to run into the space. Who knows? But you know, if the Saxons get on the front foot a little bit, they are also dangerous. Oh, has he gone through?
Oh, he's gone. He's gone.
No, I think might have been out of touch. I don't know.
Yeah, it must have been. It feels like a bit of a strange passage of play there, because it's not often you see a wing pick up from half and try and scoot
exactly.
through.
Oh, maybe it's half court.
Yeah,
maybe it's half
court.
Been. But see, the Saxons have put a bit more pressure on them now.
No, it's a well drilled subbing move.
Yeah.
There's Griswood.
This is it. So they're all hitting that little gap behind the ruck there, but a little handling error by Davies, and the Saxons are back on it. Oh.
Yeah, and we've not seen a lot of Davies in line attack in this second half.
No.
And maybe he's part of the key to unlock the defence.
He could be. He's a very nimble little player. He's played with us for a few years in the England setup. Know Neil very well.
There's Luke Hudson. That's fifth. Needs to scoop. A little bit static. Bit of footwork. And again, but once again, Griswood just says, nope, I'll have you. And that is turnover.
Like I say, there's quite a lot of old heads out there. Griswood has been around for years and been England captain at M45s and M50s, I think.
There's Popov carrying well.
Yeah, these two are excellent players. Popov and Lovell. They know each other's game inside out, and there it is.
Lovely. 2-on-1. Can they execute? Unfortunately not. Was there a hand in the lane?
The Tigers players think there was a hand in there. Looks like she's going to give a hand in there. Yes, 6 again. So again, this is a golden opportunity here. Oh no?
Oh, it's turnover.
So Saxons have got it on their box side now, so it should give them an opportunity to drive hard up the near side.
That's a good drive. Mike Rower carrying well. Lee Thompson, and the ball is behind. And there's a little bit of confusion creeping in now. And there might be, due to some fatigues. There's not long left in this game.
Yeah, this is a really good tussle now. There's a little bit of tiredness there and a few errors, unforced errors. So,
good dive from Popov.
What can they do now? I think it's fourth touch.
It's fifth coming now. They bounce out to the link. Popping away. I'm not sure if they knew it was fifth or fifth coming because they had an extra touch to play with.
Yeah.
And you can see there is a bit of confusion.
Yeah, I'd have been looking them to try and set up and strike. but obviously they must have miscounted. But they've used the 6 up now. Saxons are going to have to work hard to go up.
Touch and pass.
Yeah, they have to work hard now to get up the pitch, get some momentum, get some fresh legs on if they can. Good defence by John Lovell coming in there and sniping.
Yeah, good momentum carrying up to the box as well from the Saxons. Mike Rower checking around to Sefo.
I think that was 4th touch there, so they need to get front foot. 5th there.
Need to add a bit of pace. That's 6 touch turnover. And Saxons coming unstuck in their transition. A little bit too easy for the Tigers to defend it.
It's a bit of a frustration there from a coach's point of view. Ooh. If you don't know your touch count and you're running on 6 touch when you have an opportunity to move the ball. Referees going forwards and backwards on some decisions. I'm not quite sure what they're doing here. I think the ball's going back to Tigers.
Yeah, no, indeed. Luke Hudson's just having a chat. A bit of a long explanation from the ref, which Saxons might actually thank him for. It gives them a little bit of time to catch their breath, as we see Sol Phoenix moving back. Needs to get on the 7 and strike on the 7. There's Hobson. There's Phoenix. Hobson.
Bit slow off the floor there on that one. The defence were able to get back.
Yeah, options.
The goal.
It's a good pass.
Yeah, that was the one. They had the 2-on-1, 3-on-2 to 2-on-1. Yeah. Unlucky.
Yeah, fire up was the opportunity. But unfortunately, it just didn't quite happen for him. And now the Saxons have an opportunity. They need a little bit more momentum. That's better. Mikey Rower.
4, so 5th is coming. 5th is coming.
Good switch away.
5th is coming. Get the momentum on this one.
Thompson. Oh, it's a wonderful.
Yes, it was great. He sucked Phoenix into it. Phoenix stuck his hand out, and that's it. Knocked the ball down and get 6 again. Now this is a diamond opportunity now.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think this is about the first time they've been anywhere near the 7 in the second half. So this is a diamond opportunity. Try and make it pay.
Yeah, 4 minutes left to go in this second half. Bouncing over side. There's Thompson. Goes straight to the wing. But unfortunately, that ball drops down.
Absolutely. So, I mean, with 4 minutes to go, you'd say potentially the next team that scores will be the winner.
Definitely.
Tigers have had the better of this second half by a long way, but haven't made it count.
Yeah, and we're in the grind here. This game is currently being played in between the 2 10s. There is Davies.
Yeah, it's much better
but sideline ref flying out, but there is a tap penalty.
Yep, hard touch. So again, is this going to be the winning play?
Well, now we do get to see Davies and Griswood, but they're nowhere near the 7. They need to get there. There's your sweeper coming round into a 32, getting on the link rather than the middle. Hampers all the space. Checking away. More link play. 3, forthcoming. Burn 3 touches. There's your 32 short. There's Neil Davies checking away. That's a great line, but a really good read by number 17, Craig Wheeler.
Yeah, Craig saw that coming. He saw the little tip back inside coming, so he shut really nicely.
Oh, and there's the NFL pass out to the wing. Why not? If you've got it, flaunt it. It's a shame that's the first time we've seen it.
Yeah, Andy Vermeer with a nice little pass there.
Now Saxons need to find their momentum and get the fresh legs on the field. This is 5th coming. Needs to check around. Oh, lovely dummy. Good platform. That's danger. Avoiding one. Not avoiding the second.
Need to get the ball down and move it quick.
Yeah, and they've let the Tigers get set. looking to pop the ball back on the inside, but Griswood is alive to it.
So obviously we've seen some speed there from, I think it was Townsend. We know we've got Spencer and Hudson and Mike Rower over in the Saxons that have all got some speed. Thinking about the drop-off here from a coach's point of view.
Yeah.
You're looking at Sol Phoenix, John Lovell, Popoff without a doubt, who've got some speed.
Oh, it's ball down.
And Tigers number 44, Ed Pearce has got some speed. So this could be around 55, Matt Wilkinson. So this could be a very interesting if it goes to drop off. There's going to be some speed, without a doubt. And with a drop off, what you're trying to do, you're always
danger.
This is over the top.
Oh, it's a really good covering touch.
Yeah.
Right, number 31, John Cotty.
So these guys are really now digging deep on both sides.
And there's under a minute left to go. There is the final hooter, and we will go to drop off.
Well, this is going to be very, very interesting here. You've got Neil Davies also as well on the Tigers here, who was always in my starting drop-off pod. So, this is going to be interesting. I mean, John Lovell, JF, Neil Davies, and probably Ed Pearce would be my ones for the Tigers.
Yeah. And it'd be interesting as well, because do you just go and put out all of your fast players from first and just back yourself to go and get the score? Or do you save a bit of that to go and defend if you need to?
I don't, because it's still 4 versus 4, so you need to get the overlap. So you need a couple of players who know how to create that overlap. And this is what you've got. You've got Popoff and Lovell in there that can. You've got Rowe and Spencer and Thompson. So this is going to be really interesting.
Yeah. So drop off 2 minutes. Drop off is 2 minutes each way. There is the sweeper coming round, checking away. There is the overlap, and that is the score for Midlands Tigers that takes it 3 tries to 2 over the Saxons. And early doors in the drop off, it is warning signs. Saxons need to come back with a vengeance. There's Mike Rower.
Like I say, you just have to get that little overlap. It wasn't about speed there, it was about structure and overlap. But Saxons have got the right players in. Oh, that was the opportunity there.
And they might live to regret that. There's the likes of Thompson and Rower.
And you put real pressure on them now to not let them get off that pitch too easily.
Yeah, try and force a turnover, but Griswood secures the ball, really static. Roll ball. There's Davies.
That was close to stepping out then, that was, by Vern.
Oh, JP Popov. He's got a bit of space. There is Popov, checking away, getting in on Luke Hudson. Popov might look to go short side, comes over to this open side. There's a 2-on-1, and they go and execute, and it's our man Ed Pearce who secures the winning score for Midlands Tigers, and barring a miraculous 2-try comeback and drop-off, which I don't think I've ever seen.
No, I've never seen it, and I'm not too sure they've got enough time for it.
I know it would be one of a kind, this type of comeback, and maybe that deep squad has helped the Tigers out. There's one more touch and it's game over. And there it is. There is Griswood. That is game. And Midlands Tigers take the victory in this 50s final.
Testament to both those teams. Absolutely great game. Really is.
It was a stunning performance from the 50s, and what a way to set the tone for the final 4 games of Nationals. We've had the men's 50s final finishing in drop-off. Midlands Tigers take the lead, and coming up next we have the Women's Open, and it is the old adversaries, South East Sharks versus South East Taipans, and that'll be with you in around 5 minutes' time.
I'm joined by Ed and Martin, the try scorers for the Tigers in that extra time win over the South West Saxons. Ed, just how tough a game was that?
Oh, it was immensely tough. We knew it was going to be a really hard one. Having it been a really close game in the first round of the tournament, we knew it was going to be a tough one. And again, last game of the tournament for us, fatigue setting in, tiredness, and really, really strong opposition. But yeah, thoroughly enjoyable. Yeah, had a great time.
Ryan, you've got there's plenty of international experience in your sub box there. What's the likes of John Lovell, Sol Phoenix, people like that, Mark Hobson. What are they saying? Going into that extra time period.
Well, I think, as you can tell, we're still out of breath, and every time we came off the pitch, they're basically just saying, keep it calm, guys, go through the processes, don't worry about anything, just play out there, play with accuracy and enjoy it. And it's so good having a lot of experience giving you a really calming voice in the sub-box.
Just before we go on to the Women's Open, obviously it's kind of almost like a little bit of a change between men's 50s to Women's Open. In terms of for you both, to have the opportunity to play at a national event like this as a men's 50s, it's a division that's growing all the time, but what does it mean to you as individuals?
It's just great to compete. I mean, we've probably all played competitive sport at a younger age, perhaps never thought in our 20s or 30s we'd still be playing in our 50s, so to still have that chance is fantastic. And we're here with family as well, and we've got children who are playing, so to be able to watch them alongside us having a competitive game as well is just phenomenal.
Absolutely, yeah. It's fantastic. It's a great advert for 50s rugby. We're still breathing after a game like that, and thoroughly enjoyable. Thank you.
Congratulations, fellas. Go and enjoy a very well-earned